Hey guys, Snoozy here, and today we will be going over Path of Exile 2 Ritualist Bleed Spear. This is a build that I'm currently working on. It's not completely optimized, so don't expect it to be the greatest build in the world. It's probably not going to compete with the Lightning Arrow Deadeyes, but it's really fun to play. So if you're looking for something fun, this is really good place to start. Why not? It's pretty cheap. You can also level it as Amazon and then switch into Ritualist. The one thing I want to call out here is this is a modified build of Lupi. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm probably butchering it. I'm so sorry. I'm going to link his guide in the description as well. There are some modifications that I made on here just for my playstyle. If you want more damage than what I currently have, go look at his guide. It's going to do a lot more damage than mine. I think mine's going to be a lot more survivable though. But with that said, let's get into it and start with the passives. We're going to go ahead and do a pretty standard reduced mana for our first node. Spirit and elemental resistances are just more valuable to me. So we'll take the reduced mana, get the +1 ring slot into the Mystic Attunement. And we're also going to go with the Wildwood Persistence for the increased life recovery rate. And we're going to go ahead and get the Blood Boil. If you're going to be leveling this, I would probably get the Blood Boil skill first, and then the Wildwood Persistence, and then move over this way afterwards. Since this is a lot more gear dependent, that's how I would level this at least. This character I actually leveled as Amazon, and I originally started off as a crit build. So I did not level as Ritualist, but that's how I would do it. Pretty standard here. We're going to go through into the attack damages and get some more increased area of effect. We'll go ahead and get some more attack damage here early on. I do not put it into splinters for any of this stuff. We grab the movement speed and some evasion. And I do like having the maim on hit. It makes things a little bit more manageable. And then we're going to shoot up to here and grab the enhanced reflexes and the bestial skin. I am pretty much an evasion base, trying to get some more deflection going with some blocking. I did go over here for the Herald to get some more chaos and physical damage, and I also grabbed some reservations. Just for my gear levels, I can probably get rid of some of these reservations now with how much gear I currently have. We're also going to go ahead and take glancing hits for some more block chance. You'll go ahead and get both the precise point and the roll strike with your spears. We don't get the javelin because we're not doing a crit build. I'm not high enough level yet, but eventually I'll probably be grabbing some more deflection with the remaining of my points. And the rest of it will scoot down here. You're going to grab some fast metabolism and goring, just for some additional life leech. We're going to grab some bleeding out because, well, we're a bleed build, so we're going to want that. And deep wounds, we're going to do some aggravating just to make sure that they're really taking that full damage. If you're not aware what aggravating is, what it does is whenever you hit your target, you're going to have a chance to aggravate it. If it's been older than 4 seconds, then you're automatically going to aggravate it. And a tip, little thing, you can hold Alt and hover over it. Aggravated is going to make it treated as though they were moving, which is 100% extra damage. It's a lot. So either you need to make sure your target is always moving so they bleed out faster, or you need to aggravate that bleed. Over here, we're going to go ahead and get the present. Okay. They increase our presence. That way we can have a little bit more area of effect on the blood boils. And we'll go ahead and take the block chance nodes over here and the lay siege for the increased damage. And then top it off, we'll get some more bloodletting. For our amulet, we went and put in vigilance for now, just for a little bit more life. Up here, oh, I should have looked it up. Blood tearing, here it is. This is probably the end game one if you really want more damage. It's pretty expensive though. I think it's isolation. I think is the expensive one on there. But overall, it's pretty simple. We're going to be taking evasion nodes, deflection nodes, attack damage, and block some of the Herald stuff, which probably could be dropped if needed at this point. Like I said, this build is not fully optimized, and we'll be taking a lot of the Bleed Magnify. I did skip over the jewels. All of our jewels, that one's a little bit different. All of our jewels are pretty much the same, which is going to be block chance, magnitude, and then some rage. Rage just for the extra damage. Wasn't quite sure what to get on that last stat. And here's another one as well. Life Leech, increased amount of that is also very nice to have. It's pretty much how we recover other than flasking because we don't really have much of the regen. For the gear, we're going to go ahead and use a physical damage spear with plus levels to melee skills. You're going to want life leech and mana leech, at least on one piece of gear. I went and got a little bit more. I think I have, yeah, I have another life leech on the ring. But you'll want to get it at least on one piece. That way you can really sustain, because when you get hit, you're going to get hit hard, and you want to stay alive, and you pretty much leech back to full. On top of that, because of the passives that we got down here, you can have your leech keep going even when you're at 100% health. That way you're always leeching. For our helmet, we're just going to get some resistances, deflection, and life. For the armor, we're going to do pretty much the same thing with some spirit. Your spirit amounts are going to be different depending on what kind of beast you're getting, and stuff like that. So you don't need to get exactly 43 spirit. You're going to have to math that out a little bit. We also do get spirit on the amulet as well. So again, math out how much you're going to need based off of, what companion you're getting. For the rings, we went and got physical damage because we are a ritualist, so we get more out of our rings and amulets. On top of that, we're getting life and resistances, and here I opted to also get some more physical attack damage as leech. For the rings, same kind of thing here. We're going to do that, except for I got some more all attributes to help out with that a little bit as well. For the final ascendancy, we'll get the third ring slot. We're going with a Venopuncture for the increased magnitude of bleeding, plus some of that other juicy stuff there. The buckler is probably going to get replaced soon just for a better version of it. I think you need like 28-30% block chance on it to really get it going to get the max amount of block. I'm not quite there yet with my current gear. The main thing is block chance and high evasion, high life, and really just try to get that resistances capped as much as you can. Honestly, the resistances weren't very difficult on this build to really get going. Between the two rings and the amulet, and then with ingenuity here increasing the even more effects of our rings, we got a lot of our resistance stuff taken care of pretty quick, and it was pretty easy here. For our gloves, we wanted to get plus level of all melee skills. That'll give us even more damage. And this is an okay pair. Ideally, I would have liked a lot more life and some more evasion on there. Boots, you're going to want 30% movement speed. I only have 25 because I'm poor. High evasion, life resistance, and more deflection. The charms are kind of just whatever annoys you. This one's not even completely rolled. I ignore these, really. I do like this one for the frenzy charges. It is nice for the spear throw. It'll eat a frenzy charge and go ahead and do a little explosion to spread some more if you need them arranged. Definitely not mandatory, probably not optimal either. Flasks, nothing special, just life flask and a mana flask. I usually like the regen charges ones, but these are just random ones that I've had. And we'll start at the top. This is Spear Stab. Don't know why I have a heavy swing here, but why not? Sure, it's probably one that I've lost at some point and couldn't find. It's right there. Spear Throw, multi-shot, bleed, 3, fork, and deep cuts. This isn't really something I use anymore. I did this a lot more when I was still undergeared and had a little bit of struggle with staying alive. There are some boots that you can get early level here, and I should have looked up the name because I don't remember them. Oh boy, they're not here. There are some boots that you can get that have pin on all physical damage. Those are super nice to have, and I don't know where they went or the name of them. Oh man, I should be. Oh, here they are. Bushwhack Lizard Scale Boots. Physical damage is pinning. If you do that, then you can do the reservation. That will make it so you gain frenzy charges when you have something pinned. Let's see if I have a spirit somewhere. It's like combat something. Combat frenzy. Gain a frenzy charge when you freeze, electrocute, or pin an enemy no more than once every 7 seconds. This is something nice because all damage pins, keeps stuff a little bit under control while you're leveling for that ranged gameplay a little bit more. For the rest of the gems, we went with Blood Boil, and that has prolonged duration too, 35% more skill effect duration. Ritual Sacrifice was something I was playing with, and it didn't really like it. It just kind of slowed down. I just ended up forgetting to do it all the time. This actually doesn't do anything. It's just storing gems in here for now. Rake is your main bleed skill, and it is just a little slash, and it actually has a pretty long distance that it can dash to when there's actually enemies. For mapping, we're going a magnified area, deep cuts. Ancestral Call is actually really nice with this. Gives you two little spear boys that help out and spread these bleeds. Heavy Swing for the more physical damage, and the Brutality 3 because we're not doing anything else other than really bleed and physical. For the Herald of Blood, we are doing Magnified Area, Physical Mastery, Bursting Plague, and Poison 3. And the reason we're doing that is for the Herald of Plague. And this will go ahead and just do a chaos support, and these will actually proc off of each other, and it does some decent damage when you mix in the bursting plague as well. Really didn't expect that to do so much. I was kind of against it in the beginning because I'm like, that's not really going to do much. It's actually a pretty big damage and clear speed increase. I really do enjoy that. Disengage is going to be the second part of the combo here, and I'm doing cooldown recovery, incision, bleed 4, and this is because I do not want it to actually bleed. So this will cause it where it can't bleed anything, but it'll do more damage against bleeding, and it'll also do incision. And the reason I don't want it to bleed is I want to make sure that Rake is the one that's causing this bleed damage. And Impale, just a little bit more damage there. Blood Hunt is your finishing skill here, and we are going to do Momentum because it's a giant dash, so you're going to do a little bit more damage there. Close Combat, you're going to do even more damage. If they're within 1 meter, it's a melee skill, so they're going to be within that 1 meter. Bleed, because, well, we don't care that this will bleed it. It's going to consume the bleed anyways, so this will do more damage against the bleed. And we're using this as an execution, so the cooldown of 10 seconds isn't that big of a deal. It's 30% more damage. I don't really know how I feel about this one. I've been playing around with it. I might replace this one out, because sometimes with rares, there's 2 rares at a time, and they're separated, and I want to execute both, and it kind of comes into a problem. Bloodhound's Mark is the mark we're using. This will cause your bleeds to do heavy stun and build up. We're going to do a Rupture, that way it aggravates bleeding. And Mark for Death, that way 10% of the physical damage taken is going to break the armor. And your Summon Companion. You'll need to find the guy, it could be really any beast in a map or whatever, but what you're looking for is the physical damage aura. Mine's not very good. You're going to kind of want like an all damage shocks or something else that's going to be useful. Mine's actually really annoying because he puts out electric spots on the circle that I keep thinking are enemies and trying to avoid. But he's temporary for now. But you're looking for the physical damage aura. He really comes alive once you get Brutus Brain, which I think is like 30 exalts currently. It makes it so he cannot be damaged, but he also deals no damage. And the hidden tech behind this is the fact that we're going to use Incision support. He doesn't deal damage, but he's still hitting, causing him to add Incision. And you can consume the Incision with your Rake to get even more bleed magnitude. And here, we don't want him taking our Incision, so we give him bleed 4. That way he can't cause bleeding himself. And then +1 minion mastery. I think it gives us a better aura. I'm not entirely sure on that one yet. And typical Wind Dancer for like every other evasion build, just for more evasion on top of everything. We are currently level 84. 2,600 life, which is still a little low. I'd like to get that higher. Our chaos res is bad. That's something we need to fix with gear. We only have a 54% chance to evade. We can do a lot better than that. 47% chance to block out of 52. That's just another gear upgrade. I think I can get there with my shield in the current talent build. And deflection is only at a meager 39% chance. So as you can see, this build is not completely fleshed out. It's just really fun to play. This is probably my favorite build so far. With that said, we're going to go ahead and try a map and see a little bit of the gameplay here. I don't know if I'm going to do all of it or what we'll do here. Which one do we want to do? This one's probably death because it's extra damage as fire and maximum. But we're gonna try it. So your root gameplay is really just gonna be rake, back into your disengage, rake, disengage, back and forth. Put your mark up on rares or bosses, and you're gonna blood hunt when they're low. And now let's go get one shot off the rip here and ruin the video, huh? And like I said, we're not super geared, so there's a lot of room that we can do here on top of what we currently have to get even more damage. But I'm just going to kind of play it out and let you guys see, and if we die, we die. I haven't died in a long time, but I've gotten close a couple times, just really big one hits that almost killed me, but we managed to leech back. And this might not be the best map. There's not really enough density here to see the heralds chain off of each other like they're supposed to. Maybe if we get down in here more. The one thing you want to work on too, I'm really bad at this, you want to actually disengage towards monsters, but not all the way on them. Because Rake will actually do more damage the further you dodge to them. So you do less bleed damage if you're right on top of them. I have no idea what's hitting me in here. I think there's a boss in here. Or rare, there he is. Oh. And that is the downside of having that cooldown on your blood hunt. I missed the rare I wanted to hit and hit something else instead, where we could have just killed the rare. Put the mark up, as you can see, and blood hunt in for a big damage. But you really want to run maps that have stuff really dense and close together, so your heralds can proc off of a lot of it. Like that. And then you want to wait, and then go in, and it dies. Pretty simple. But that is the build, really, overall. That's all there is to it. That's your whole gameplay loop. Rake in, disengage out, blood hunt back in when you need to. And it is a fun build, and there's a lot of work that we can do with gear to really get this up. It's mostly made for mapping. Like I said, we need to replace some stuff if you're actually going to try to do some bossing, which would be the magnified effect, and we're going to need to get rid of on our rake as well. I forget what it was called. Magnified area needs to go, and ancestral call. You would want something that gives you more damage on top, because really rake is an executioner, so you could use something like execute is more damage on low life, stuff like that. It's a really fun build, and it's thrives when there's high density to really chain your heralds off of each other, plus your corrupted blood on top of it from the blood boils. There's a lot you can do with the build, and I really hope you guys enjoy it. And if you guys are bossers and you do this build, please comment in on the videos. I'm really curious how it is. I'm eventually going to take the build there, but there's just a lot more work I want to do with the build first. I still need to get the tier 15s and 16s on farm and complete the quests and all that fun stuff. But that is where the current build is and what I am playing in this season, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions at all, just let me know. I try to respond in the comments. But that's it for today, and I'll talk to you guys later. Toodles!